Hello again. I'm going to do a chakra meditation now, and I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see my altar, maybe some nice things to look at. So we'll begin by getting ourselves comfortable, either lying or sitting, whatever feels right for you. Becoming aware of our body, aware of the contact points of our feet, our hands perhaps resting on our laps, the weight of our body supported beneath us. We'll begin by focusing our attention, firstly listening to the sounds that we can hear outside of the room. Letting those go, and then listening to the sounds that we can hear inside the room. Drawing our attention inwards into the space that we're in, into our body, and if it feels comfortable to do so, onto our breath. If it doesn't feel comfortable to focus on your breath or your body, of course, then don't. And what can be comfortable is to focus on hands and feet, or whatever you choose to. We can use a chakra meditation to recenter ourselves, to become aware of ourselves, to become aware of our own energy. And sometimes we may become aware of blocks, or we may even experience insights that come to us as a thought or an idea, a word, or just a feeling. Just whatever feels comfortable for you. Closing your eyes can help to focus. If at any time you experience any unpleasant sensations during meditation, as I said before, focusing on hands and feet and opening eyes and having a look around, grounding yourself in the space that you're in, usually is quite a comfortable thing to do. So we'll begin by focusing on our root chakra, which is associated with the colour red and is situated at the base of our spine, where we're sitting if we're sitting, or at our feet. We may like to imagine ourselves rooting down to the earth, like tendrils of red energy connecting us and grounding us. So it's our real connection to the physical. Each chakra has many associations, and you may also have your own insights that aren't anything to do with any associations that I say or that you read about, and that's all fine too. When I think about the root chakra, I think about security and safety, how grounded we are. How safe we feel. It shines a light on our need for safety and security, and how that feels for us right now. We can ground ourselves and increase our sense of safety by imagining ourselves rooting downwards to the earth, becoming aware of our connection. And as we go about our day, and if ever we feel anxious, we can focus on the feeling of the ground beneath our feet, whether we're walking, whether we're sitting, and we can just move our feet just to keep in touch with the ground and just remind ourselves that we're earthed and we're grounded and that we're supported by the ground beneath our feet. Taking note of any insights or thoughts, we move upwards to the sacral chakra, our lower belly. It's associated with the reproductive organs, with our drives, and that's not just sex, that's our creative drives, which are kind of come from the same drive, really. And it can be where energy goes out from, goes outwards into creativity. And when I do this, I pay attention to whether there's perhaps too much going out, whether I need to pull in a little bit, and whether I'm also grounded at the same time as my energy going outwards, because otherwise, for me, that can feel a little bit unbalanced. And as we go through all our chakras, it's good to think, what about our own energy? What are we giving out? What are we keeping in? What do we need to keep for ourselves and keep ourselves running? Where do we need to pull in? And where do we need and want to give out? So it's the sacral chakra, orange. If you like to visualize, you might like to picture a water wheel or a windmill or a whirling vortex of light. Or you can just experience it as a feeling, or as a mental question and answers in words. How is this chakra? What is it feeling? What is it telling me? Is the energy free or blocked? Is it unbalanced or balanced? Can it or does it need help from the chakras to either side? Because everything links together. Taking note of any insights and moving upwards. To our solar plexus, the center of our chest, but below our rib cage, upper belly. This is yellow. It's the seat of our emotions. It's where we deal with and process emotions. And how is that area feeling? If we feel any fear here, we can call on the other chakras. Going back to our root chakra, are we grounded? What's our feeling of safety? What do we need to be more grounded and to feel safer? Our drives, our creativity, our solar plexus, or yellow, so red, orange, yellow. We're processing our emotion here in our solar plexus. Taking note of any insights, moving upwards to the center of our chest, high. This is our heart chakra. It's green, so you may notice it follows the colours of the rainbow. So the root is red and the sacral is orange and the solar plexus is yellow and the heart chakra in the centre of the chest is green. And people say that this is the middle chakra between the physical, like the physical concerns, the physical body, and the spiritual realm. It's the kind of gateway. And when I kind of experienced my my spiritual awakening, for want of a better word, I felt that in my heart chakra, and it was triggered by the feeling of falling in love. So how does our heart chakra feel? How does that green light feel? How does the movement and the energy here feel? Do we love ourselves enough? Can we send love to ourselves as well as out to others? Do we let love in? Not just from romantic partners, from family, from friends. What do we notice here? And what can we learn? Taking note of any messages. Moving up now to our throat chakra, which is associated with the colour blue. And it's associated with various glands and endocrine systems. And it's associated with communication. And I often think about that, not just communication, things we might want to say to others, but also our communication with ourselves, with the deep blue waters of our own unconscious, our own subconscious, our emotions, our deep down. Again, sometimes that can be scary, but we have the other chakras to help us. We have our grounding, our safety and our security. We have our drives and our inspiration to do this work. And we have love. And a good friend told me that you can help this by maybe wearing a blue scarf, and that applies to all the other chakras as well. Using a colour to help if it needs a little bit more energy. Taking note of the messages or insights from this chakra. Moving upwards to the third eye. The colour is indigo, and this is in the centre of our forehead. And it's our vision, our understanding, knowing vision, our life path. It's integrating our insights and pulling it all together and seeing what to do next from a position of wisdom. It's seeing the spiritual path, but also the insights for the everyday. It's all part of the same thing. How do we feel when we think about this? Is it scary? Are we confident? Are we clear-minded? What do we need to help us here? We just check in with our body and take a breath. And then the seventh chakra is the crown chakra, white or violet light, the crown of our head, and it's our connection with the spiritual realm. So as we are grounded and connected to the earth and the physical, we're also connected to the spiritual. So that's the crown chakra and the root chakra. And it's how we balance ourselves on the spiritual path as well. Head in the clouds, feet on the ground, 1 foot in the visible, 1 foot in the invisible. And some people say that those two chakras are always kept open. If you're interested in closing and opening chakras, not everybody is. Not everybody sees it like that, and you don't have to. The way I've thought about it is, sometimes when we're out and about and we're getting approached by a lot of people, or we're feeling our energy drained, sometimes it can be helpful to have our chakras kind of open when we're doing some work like this. And then as we finish, we're maybe closing them gently, but people say to leave the root and the crown one open, our connection with our earth and our grounded chakra and our spiritual chakra, that they're open, that perhaps when we go out and about, we close the other ones to keep our energy in. It's just something to think about. But for the purposes of today, I would leave my crown chakra, root chakra open, be aware of those, and then gently just noticing through the others and maybe pulling them in a little bit and closing them for going out and about after today. So our sacral chakra, orange. As we do so, we do a last check on how they're feeling. Solar plexus chakra, yellow. Heart chakra, green. Our throat chakra, blue. Our third eye chakra, centre of our forehead, indigo. And those might be the ones that you might want to close them a bit when we're out. And now just spend A few moments just thinking and maybe even noting down any insights or messages or thoughts of how your chakras felt. It can give us ideas of things to work on and things to take forward, things to help us. Maybe we're just making a mental note, maybe we're actually writing things down. And then we're beginning to come out of that chakra meditation. We do that by noticing our breath, our bodies, our real physical body. We're listening to the sounds that we can hear inside the room. Becoming aware of the room that we're in. And listening to sounds that we can hear outside of the room. We're becoming present again in our everyday. It's always that balance of taking those insights into our everyday. Things we notice in our everyday, we then maybe ponder later, and vice versa. A chakra meditation. Okay. Thank you and see you next time.